So, welcome to your week one of getting started here in the LaunchPad. And so, we're going to go through some of these tasks together just to so that you can work through them and you can skip around this video and navigate to the task. But I'm going to go down in order here and check them off as we go, so you can use that as a reference in the video. So, confirm your organization admin and coach are active. So, if you're the coach, if you're the organization admin and the head coach, you've already done that. Should you want to check that, you can always go to rosters. This is what we'll do. So when we go to rosters here, we want to go to rosters, and then we can invite users by sending links to coaches and players. What that looks like is in the roster here, we can click invite users here at the top. We can add a coach or a player, send them this message, and they should be able to log on. Now, if you want the multiple coaches to be coach admins, so your coordinators or anything like that, you'll need to go back to that organization admin page. And from there, under users, you should see a button that says make coach admin. And so there you can see how to make someone an admin, give them the ability to add users like that. It's also going to be a lot of work getting this entire thing done and getting your team onboarded. So we're going to use this coach responsibilities tab here to determine who's responsible for what as part of this onboarding process. So as coaches get added, they'll have their own unique slot here. So you can just click add task, and it could be a single task. Probably on this it will be. So say, for example, create offensive playbook. And let's have a date this is kind of done by. So let's say we want this done by next week. And let's add it. So now that coach will have that assigned to them. Additionally, if there are other things that you want to go ahead and establish as well. So for example, this is a permanent task. So this one doesn't move. Whereas the single task can be checked off. So let's say creating offensive game plans. Let's add that. So this one is permanent and has this pinned logo on it, so it won't move. But this one can be checked off by that coach. So that's a good example of how to do that, how to divide these tasks up so that you don't feel overwhelmed trying to do it all on your own. So the next thing we want to do is move into this Playbook Builder and create your own philosophy as a unit. So in every playbook, you can go to the playbook here, and you should have, this is not created. Do I have anything in here? No, so let's go ahead and let's actually delete this, and then we'll start from scratch. And let's delete this folder. Great. So you want to click this new folder here, and you could take this, you can name this whatever you want. So like the machine. And so this can be like your philosophy. You can move this around up here if you'd like. But in here, what you want to do, and you can create as many of these folders as you would like to go alongside your root folders here, which we'll go into more later. But inside the machine, you can create essentially PowerPoint presentations. So in our playbook here, when we go to create play, welcome to the machine. And for position, what you want to do is click presentation. And so we'll still have our offensive line here, but we can do this thing called clear players, clear everyone. And now we've got just a background. And we can change this background to be any color that we like or a custom color. So if we change it to be that, or let's go like a little darker, maybe something like this. And then what we can do is treat this like a PowerPoint. So we can use this text, put it here, and we can put our welcome to the offensive unit at X high school. Now, once we do this, we can shape this how we'd like it. We can kind of center it up. We can change the font size. We can make it bold, change the alignment. You can change the text color if you want it to be something more unique. White on white's not great. But you can do all of this here, and then you should, the way it does is when we save it, it'll look like that. So when players see it, it looks like this. So it's simple, and it's something that really helps build your philosophy. And yeah, across the board, offense and defense and special teams are all the same. So that would be the first thing to do. Now for offense and defense here, we're going to separate it up briefly. So for offense, you want to start creating your basic formations, your formation tags, and your shifts and your motions. And for defense, you want to start working on that philosophy and identity and rules, all that will be handled within the playbook. Kind of creating your own folders for rules and identity, similar to what we just did as far as the team philosophy. In offense, I'll walk you through this really quick. These are some of your base folders. Here's the formations and shifts and motions are the one of focus right now. So start creating some formations. I have these two separate folders in here called formations and formation tags. But let's go here and let's say we'll create a new formation here. And all you need to do is click on offense here and you can choose the player color. So I want my QB to be clear. And then type, once you've placed that, you can hit whatever letter you want, similar to huddle or anything else. And then go through your next ones here. So my next one I want to be green. We'll call that player B. And then my next one I want to be Y. And then I want a U maybe. And then let's go put my X over here and then a Z. Great. So I'm going to call this Cowboy. And for us, this is 12 personnel Cowboy. And these are tags that you can put in here. You can also adjust the position of this. So in the select tool here, you can kind of drag over these guys. And we have got some interesting things down here, like apply blocking schemes. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, you can also move the line of scrimmage here and move it up or down. But this helps a lot, and you can put this in the boundary. Now, the beauty of this is that once we have this saved once, so let's click save. Now, let's say I have a specific, now this is in here, number one Cowboys right here. But let's say that I have a specific motion that I like to use with this. Let's go back here, or a specific tag. So if you got a specific formation tag, let's say you want to do Cowboy flip or something like that, you can go in here. We can call this like flip or whatever it would be. And you can actually insert. Now, any formation that you've created can now just be inserted with this insert formation / play button. And so this Cowboy, we can just click on it now and it'll pop it right in. Okay. Now, if I were to do a motion in shifts and motions, I have mine organized in these folders. I would recommend that you do the same. I like doing that. So let's say that I want a motion. Let's call it yo-yo. We'll call it yo-yo tag. And so all this is going to do is tell this U to come here and then come back. So I inserted Cowboy here, and then so let's go to, I can do draw, and then this is kind of our motion look here. So I can click this player and just have them come a little bit past the center maybe here and come back and then come back this way. Cool. Now they'll kind of set up there again. Now what this looks like, you can put this player actually in motion to see it live. And yeah, so I'll call that yo-yo. We'll save it, and that'll be that. So as far as setting up those, go through and set these up. It's a really good base for your entire program. And we've already talked about the defense doing that. Now, for probably the most important part of this entire process, and the most important part that makes SpiralXO work in general, is your play pool. So in Playbook and installs, add your first entries to your play pool and your call pool. This is what makes everything work and what makes SpiralXO incredible. So for offense, we approach play calls, and defense, we approach play calls a little bit more methodically. So in this play pool, what you should have, you probably won't see anything, but every offense has about 50 to 150 to 200 plays that they would actually call in game. And so what we ask you to do is go through, and you can add this and edit this throughout the year, throughout the season, but we ask you to go through and select a category for a play. And then we ask you to simply go through and tell us about that play. So you can link a playbook visual. So for example, if it's inside zone, it'll automatically pull the concept from it. We'll talk about that in a second. Category first, and then you go through and then you can choose your personnel if you want to use it, your shift if you want to use it, a to motion, which is to a formation, so hack to spread right, for example. Formation is required. You see this little red dot right here? That means that it's required. So the only thing that is required here is formation, category, and concept. That's the only thing of these that are required. So you could be really vanilla and basic to start if you want. So I'm going to do hack to spread right. From motion is something that would happen after the formation, typically for us, like spread right jet, for example. And different teams have different ways they call things. So we can always put jet in here. Now you would see that there. Concept for us is inside zone. You could put something in here if it's like Zulu or Zara. If you want to put something specific there, you could. If it's like a full word call. And then direction. Now, once we have this information, we want you to put when you like this play. Do you like on third and short, third and medium, third and long, red zone, goal line? All you have to do is check it. That's all you have to do. So on third and long, I don't really like inside zone. And then we ask for what fronts you like it against. So for run plays, we ask what fronts do you like it against. So for this here, you could say 4-2 under, you could say 3, and it'll help you fill it out from previous examples that you've put in. 4-3, we'll say a 5-2. You could even type out here if you want to just say bear, you can do all of that. Or you can, if it's a play that should work against everything, you can click all, and it'll pull it as a beater for every front. Now, same with pass plays. You can go through and you can put the coverages each, which is really more detail oriented, or you can click all, and it will assume that all, it works against all coverages, okay? And you also have blitz beaters here that are optional. Now, once you get going with this, it gets pretty easy because this little button right here will let you duplicate it, and it'll give you a new line, and it'll insert the play right after, or you can duplicate it here like this. Now it'll tell you as well that it's got that it's the same play. It's a repeat play, so we'll delete that, and now we'll just get rid of the hack. Now, if you want to link a playbook play, you can click link, and it'll bring up automatically, have your concept here, so it'll already pull up playbook plays with that concept. So say this is just a standard inside zone read, I'll select that one. Same with this one, you can have the same playbook play for multiple concepts if it's the same concept. You can also come up here and you can see your own playpool analytics. So you can see, okay, where are most of my plays actually at? So how many formations do I have in my play pool? What am I using the most? So for example, spread. How many categories? What's my category percentage, my concept percentage, my pass pro, my personnels? Am I using the most? So on and so forth. It's a really good reflective tool for us as coordinators. You can also sort here. So you can sort by just say only run game. And then you can sort by only, say, let's go outside zone. And then you can see just how many plays you have for outside zone as well. You can see those filters here. Now you can always clear them. And you can also always just search for a play. So if you just want to search for hack, that'll pull up all my plays with a motion for hack. So defense is somewhat similar. Let me go back here to playbook and installs. Defense, call pool. Now, when we talk about this, it's very similar. So you can, it's a different way to unlink it, but you should have your call, your defensive call in general. You link it, so Cobra here. And then you tell us when you like it, run, pass, RPO, what personnel you like it against, what formation specifically you like it against, and gives you some suggestions here. What concepts you like it against, and most importantly, when you like it on down and distance. So first, second and short, second and medium, second and long. When do you like these calls ran? You can also go through and look at your as well. So look at like what personnel beaters you're using the most, which situations are you most and least prepared for, what formation beaters are you using the most, so on and so forth. Do you have a lot of pass defense plays versus run defense plays? And yeah, all of that information there. So this is really, really important to build this out at least a small bit in the beginning so that we can help you prep. So let's go back to the LaunchPad. Great. Now the last thing we can do is on the dashboard calendar in the events tab, create your first team event. So practice lifts, anything like that. So you can do this in two places. Let me pull myself over here. On the dashboard, you can add an event just by double clicking. So if you double click, say that we've got something coming up in March, you double click, and then you can add the event. So let's say afternoon booster club meeting. Actually, we'll just say booster club meeting. You can choose who to assign it to. You can assign to all teams, or you can assign it to just a specific group. You can assign it to specific individuals. We'll do this all team. It can be a meeting, a location, field, house. If it's an online meeting, you can include the link. Then you just say what day it is. So we clicked on the 5th of March, and it'll depend on like how it is as far as like ordered here, where you are. Start time, let's say it's going to start at, we'll just say 7. You just type in like 700 or so, and then it'll pull up 7 p.m. It'll last about an hour 30. Now, you can, if it's an all-day event, you can check all day. If it requires attendance tracking, if you want people or players and coaches to say that they're attending, what this will do is automatically assume that they're attending. And if players are going to miss, they can check decline and give a reason why they're going to decline. And then before that, you can click on this as a coach and see who's coming and who has said they're going to miss it. And also you can make this a recurring event. So should it happen every week? Should it happen after 10 times? How many days? So if it should happen every Thursday full until whenever, you can set that in here and it'll do that. So then once you're done, you can add some details about it if you want, and then click Create Event. And then there you go, 7 Booster Club right here. Okay? You can see who it's assigned to here, so the whole team is assigned. You can go through and see who all is assigned. You can also do that in this view as well. So the calendar view here, what we just created is here, but you can do the same thing. You can double click and create the session. If you mess anything up, you can also edit the event here and fix something. You can also see a list of all the events from now moving on, or all the events that have taken place actually. So that's where we're at. And this is really the best view to use for that. So that is your week 1 in the LaunchPad. There are some helpful video walkthroughs here if you want a little bit more in detail, say about the playbook editor or managing rosters or anything like that. Important note, last thing, the call pool and the play pool are the most important and unique part about SpiralXO. Filling them in will make your life infinitely easier in the long run. And the best part about this is with your playbook and your call pool and play pool, we allow you to take those with you. If you get a new job or move fields or anything like that, you can take those with you and bring them with you. So they live with you forever. So it's a good time to start filling them out. I promise it'll save you time. I'll see you in week 2. Thanks, Coach.